Oh boy, where shall I go today? There's so many things that have been going on, and if you've got common sense, you're just going, how can somebody do this? Are people really like? There's so much. It's freaking mind boggling. So today I'm going to talk about. Sorry, I'm going to talk about two, maybe three things, but they all go together. Every single one of them go together, and it has to do with your finances, all of your money. I'm going to show you how what's going on is going to screw you horribly this year. Horribly. All right? First, we're going to go to gas prices. Okay, a couple weeks ago, gas prices started shooting through the roof. And everyone was saying, well, it's because all the energy stuff going on down in Texas because it's cold. That's BS, because if that was crap, they're now in the sun, warming up just fine. Yeah, they're still dealing with some energy things, but everything's working again. Everything's moving again. So why is the price continuing to go up? During that, and within the couple of days after the snowstorm, price shot up around here to about 255, 260 a gallon. Today, 280. It is 279.9, 279, 279 a gallon, 280 a gallon. Just say 280 a gallon. That's insane. So if all of the energy is flowing again, and we now have this, we're back into the surplus. Why is the price still going up? You know, I won't get into the policy decisions that are causing that, but I'm going to do some math for you to see. Oh, well, it's only going up a little bit. It's not going to hurt you. I bet you it's going to hurt you the tune of about $500 a year if it keeps this. If it stays here, it's probably going to be more. So figure that you need to budget an additional $750 or more this year to cover the gas in your car. Just wanted to let you know that. So I'm going to do some math for you. You may not like it. I'm sorry. But this is math based on mine and my wife's driving habits. Okay? I'm going to be throwing a ton of numbers out at you. I don't need you to listen to everything. I just want to walk you through the process of how I got to these numbers. So I drive about 18,000 miles a year. My wife drives about 12. I have a hybrid car. She has a fully gas car. Okay? So we'll start with my gas first. So prior to the election, gas was at about $2.10 a gallon, and it averaged about that for a good 6 to 8 months. So $2.10 a gallon in my area. I have a 12-gallon gas tank. On average, when I go to fill up, I fill up between 10 and 11 gallons. So I'm just going to say 11 gallons. $2.10 at 11 gallons. It's $23 every time I go to the pump. Now, 18,000 miles a year, I get about 500 miles per tank, so it gives me 36 tanks a year that I have to fill up my car. So, the average tank costs me $23. If I fill it up 36 times in a year, it costs me $820 a year for gas in my car. Okay? It's now 270. Let's just say it stays at 270 the rest of the year. Not going to happen, but let's just say that it does. 270 times 11 gallons, so my average fill up comes to 2970. I'm actually going to lower that a little bit because it's actually about 2850 because I don't always hit the 11 gallons. I'd say it's more accurate for me to say 2850 every time I go to fill up when the gas is $2.70. Still takes me 36 tanks a year to drive 18,000 miles. My price has now gone up to $1,026 for the year. Minus the $828, it's a difference of $198. Let's just round it up. I say it's now going to cost me $200 a year more. And this is just basic math. Basic, simple math. It's now going to cost me $200 more a year to drive the driving that I normally do right now. There's a caveat to that. I'm now going to start driving more. Recently, I finally finished some training that I needed to do. I can now start job searching again. I'm going to start driving more. So I now have to budget more than that 200 increase because I know it's going to be more because I'm going to be driving more. But even if I just stayed at 18,000 miles a year, it's now going to cost me $200 more a year to drive my car. Now we'll go to my wife's car. She drives 12,000 miles a year. She gets about 400 miles to a tank, and she's got a 14-gallon gas tank. So she holds 2 more gallons than me, but she gets 100 miles less than me because she doesn't, it's not a hybrid. So I get about 39 miles a gallon. She gets 26 miles a gallon. So $2.10, it takes her 13 times to fill up throughout the year. I'm sorry, 13 gallons. Her average fill up is 13 gallons, and it takes her 30 tanks for the year. She drives less, even though she drives less than me, but her miles per tank is lower. So 30 tanks a year. She fills up approximately 13 gallons every time she goes to the gas station. $2.10. So last year, $27.30. So round it down to $27 times 30 tanks. It costs her $810 a year to drive last year. This year, if it stays at $2.70, she still gets 13 gallons per tank, $35.10 to fill up. Let's round that down to 35. Still 30 tanks for the year. It's now going to cost her $1,050 for the increase in gas. It's a difference of $240. Now, for our household, that is a difference, a combined difference of $440. I'm just going to round that up to $500. Say rounding. Well, you round down. No, I'm going to round it up to $500 because I know there's an increase. I now have to budget an additional $500 expense because price is going up for the crappy policies that Biden's doing right now. Just want to let you know, this is how you have to think about, how does this impact you? How do these policies impact me day to day? This is how. Right here. Basic, simple math. This is only one expense. I'm not even talking about the gas and electric for my house. I'm talking about the gas for my car only. $500 a year that we now have to budget for that. Now, he's talking about repealing all of these tax cuts. Great. I got $4,000 a year in our household because of the Trump tax cuts. If he's talking about repealing that, okay, so now I'm not going to have that additional $4,000. So I now have to budget for a decrease in my disposable income of $4,000 and an increase of $500 for my expense. That's $4,500 now that I have to pull out of my ass. That's how it directly affects me. This is BS, and don't let anybody tell you that it's not. Don't. Oh well, it's the environment. No, it's not. It's crappy policies in D.C. for people who are lining their pockets and not taking care of Americans. This is junk. Absolute junk. I want to go on to the whole minimum wage thing, but I'm actually going to save that for another video because actually I just got too worked up about this. An extra $500 a year, and I now have to figure out where it's going to come from. That's crazy. So if you want to start seeing how policies in D.C. are affecting your day-to-day use, look at how you consume things and what it's now going to cost. We've already talked about gas. We'll talk about minimum wage next time.